All right, here we have two heartworm tests. The one on the right is a positive test. You can see the blue dot for the heartworm, and here is a negative test. So we have a little dog upstairs, heartworm positive, so we're about ready to go advise the owners on what that means for their dog to be heartworm positive. More to follow. We're here with Doc Pawsitive at East Stroudsburg Veterinary Hospital. Speaking of positive, we have a heartworm positive dog. Here we have Sadie. Sadie's being not a lady here. She's being typical dog, you know. She's on video here, and she's, Sadie, you could almost say Sadie, because she's looking a little sad here. But, Sadie came up to East Stroudsburg the long way, by way of Arkansas. And since she came out of Arkansas, she brought her heartworm with her. You know, in the Poconos, heartworms transmitted mostly by mosquitoes, not mostly, entirely by mosquitoes. And because of our seasonal cold spell, winter, we don't get a whole lot of heartworm positive dogs that develop in the Poconos, but we are seeing a lot more heartworm positive dogs coming up out of the south. And she just the family here, and so they're waiting for Doc Sammy to come with her explanation of heartworm in their puppy dog here. Let me show you this test. This test that we have here called a snap test. If you see on this window, we put a couple of drops of Sadie's blood. It comes across here. That blue dot at the 3 o'clock position, that's our control dot. And that blue dot down at the 6 o'clock position, that tells us that Sadie is heartworm positive. So Doc Pawsitive is going to take a little bit of time to educate everybody on the implications and ramifications of heartworm in your dog. More to follow. We had to get some footage of Sadie not licking herself here, you know. So the concern on everybody's face is they just found out that Sadie has heartworm. And she's going to be staying with us for a little bit because we're going to stage her heartworm a little bit. We're going to take some chest x-rays. We're going to do some blood work, do a few other tests to see at what stage she's at, which will also help us come up with a treatment plan. So everyone's a little concerned here, but she's in good hands with the team at East Stroudsburg Vet Hospital. All right, we're here with Doc Pawsitive and Sadie. Sadie here, she's an Arkansas Razorback. Not really, she's an Arkansas Beagleback. She's back from Arkansas, and she's our heartworm positive dog. You met the family the other day. She's here at the office today getting treated for heartworm. Heartworm is a poorly named parasite because even though it's called heartworm, the worms themselves typically don't live in the heart itself. They live in the large blood vessels coming off of the heart, unless the dog has a really severe high population infection, then they may be within the heart itself. But she came in today, she came up from the south through, I believe, Pets LLC, a rescue organization. And there were some conflicting reports with the rescue. One report said that she was heartworm negative. Another report said she was heartworm positive. Anytime you get some conflicting reports like that, you want to be sure and go ahead and verify. So we tested her. She did come up positive for heartworm on our SNAP test. And we also sent out a microfilaria test. Microfilaria are the larval stages of heartworm that heartworm lives in those large blood vessels and they reproduce. And their larval stages will be in circulation. And so she was also microfilaria positive. So she'll be treated in stages. She came here to the East Stroudsburg Veterinary Hospital today, had her first treatment. One of the important things is, and I'm going over here with Dad, is that she needs to be kept really quiet because when you're killing off heartworm, the concern is we don't want those worms to die off too suddenly get out into circulation and cause embolisms and problems like that. So they'll need to limit her activity a little bit, keep her quiet, leash walk only. Interestingly enough, Miss Sadie here not only had heartworm, she also had whipworm. Whipworm is an intestinal parasite, lives in the large intestine, and we're seeing more and more of these heartworm positive dogs, whipworm positive dogs, now that we have this underground railroad of rescue dogs coming up out of the south. We didn't see too many of these problems, heartworm, whipworm so much, and Dad is here today to pick up heartworm preventive called Interceptor for his other dogs. Anymore, I don't even really call it heartworm preventive. I call it a broad spectrum parasiticide because in addition to preventing heartworm infections, it also eliminates roundworms, hookworms, and whipworms on a monthly basis. So when you give it, because the reason we did that is whipworm eggs in Sadie's stool can survive in the environment for months. And so she could potentially be infecting the other dogs in the house, not with heartworm so much, but with those intestinal whipworms. So Dad's picking up the medication. We're going to go over some instructions with him. I'll have a little bit more later on the life cycle to bore you to death about the life cycle. Not really, I won't bore you too much. I won't give you all the ins and outs, but how heartworm is transmitted through the intermediate mosquitoes. All right, bye now.